Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today's video hopefully won't be too long. I'm going to do my best to cut out the unnecessary stuff. Today's video is going to be a get ready with me. I'm putting on this makeup that you see here and I'm mostly telling you a story about how my husband and I spent our Monday night in the emergency room. So yeah, if you're interested and want to be slightly entertained, just keep watching. Okay, I hope I have you zoomed in enough. What we're gonna do today is, I already have my eyelids and eyelids primed, brows on, and I've decided these are two of the three palettes that I chose to use for the month of November, and I'm gonna use a little bit of both of them. I'm mostly gonna use this one. I'm gonna use one shade I think out of here, at least what I have planned. I'm not gonna talk about the makeup too much because really the story time is what you need to hear. In hindsight, it's pretty entertaining. So I'll just quickly detail what I'm about to do so that I don't have to go and tell you like as I'm doing the steps. So I'm gonna go with, try this in my crease, try this in like maybe to deepen up my crease. I'm gonna pop this shade on my lid, this pinky orangey kind of shade, and then in my outer crease, like to deepen it up, I'm gonna try Love Letter because it's a pretty deep shade. So yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna be talking you through all of it because mostly I want to get into the actual story time of this video because it's pretty entertaining. Alright, so let's see, where do I start? So this happened, all of what I'm about to tell you is taking place on Monday, which was the same day that I believe that I uploaded my video, the Project Pan Roulette collab. So, you know, it was an exciting day for me because I was really hoping that like that video would help me connect to new viewers, and I at the time had maybe like 30 followers or 30 subscribers, and I'm not like chasing views to get just for the sake of chasing views. I really am like trying to use YouTube as as a social outlet because I don't know many people here and it's really hard. There's 6 hours difference between here and home, so it's not always convenient when I'm feeling lonely to like call friends, and like then also I struggle with being vulnerable and like asking for help in a lot of ways. So, you know, I'm not that comfortable being like, oh, please give me a, you know, help me through this hard time, especially if I'm just lonely. Like I feel like I should be doing more to just not be lonely. Anyways, that's a long rambly section, but you know, I'm hoping that YouTube connects me to some sort of community because I don't quite feel connected to the Swedish one here yet. Like for those of you who don't know, I've only been living in Sweden about 3 months, just shy of 3 months, and so it's hard to meet people here. People are pretty private and they kind of stick to themselves, and yeah, they're a little bit more serious too. So like, it's just harder to break through. But I feel like the couple people we have met, once we started to get to know them, they warm up very quickly, and they're very caring people. Like, holy cow, a lot of the Swedish people that Bo knows through work, my husband, they are so empathetic and caring, and it's very nice, but it's just really hard to meet people here. So anyway, you know, I'm super excited about meeting people, and like this, you know, this collab really did connect me with a lot of people. I think I got like 20 new followers in one day, which meant so much to me. And not only did I get followers, but like my video has so many comments on it, and that means so much to me because again, I'm so lonely, and being able to talk to people, and even if it's just about makeup, to me, which it's a passion or a hobby of mine, like that doesn't bother me. In fact, that excites me because not a lot of people, even at home, even friends at home, understand this side of me. They're used to the Dylan that they know from the past, which was I was a tomboy. I played sports through college. I didn't know crap about makeup, and I kind of taught myself over the past couple years. And so yeah, like getting all these new followers and subscribers, like first of all, if you're new and you're watching this, I'm so excited to have you around. And all of my subscribers, like I'm like so excited to have you around. Like I consider you friends already, even though you don't know me. Like, you don't have a choice. If you subscribed, you're my friend. Anyways, getting back to the story. My husband decided to stay home from work on Monday, which is unlike him. I'm like, that's weird. Like, are you being lazy? He's usually not lazy. So I knew something was wrong, but I just kind of thought, oh, like, I don't know if any of you are married. My husband is, he's a tough guy, but at the same time, he can be super like a baby when he's like thinks he's sick. He's like, oh, I'm dying, and it'll be like the same cold that I just got over, and I'll be like, I just got over that cold. Like, I know you're not that bad. Calm down. And so I'm a little bit, that's just how my family was. My family, we underplayed everything. And so when he, you know, said he was sick Monday morning, I kind of thought, you're fine. Stop complaining. Like, just do what you need to do. Drink some fluids. Stop complaining and like go back to work tomorrow. Just hush. But the end of the day rolls around, or close to the end of the day. It was like a little past dinner time, and all of a sudden he's like, the pain, like he was having some pain in his like stomach, or that's what he said at the beginning. And so he's like, this is not getting worse, getting better. In fact, it's getting worse. And I'm like, okay, what do you want to do? And he's like, I want to go to the hospital. I want to go to the emergency room. Let's go. It's starting to freak me out that it feels a little bit like appendicitis or something, because it was hurting pretty much like right in his lower right abdomen, which made me go, oh crap, like, okay, maybe this is real. Like, I'm not gonna, you know, if you're telling me it's that bad, because like while we were home all day, I was doing my thing, he was doing his, he was trying to work on reading things for work, and I'm doing, I don't know, whatever I'm doing. And so when he kind of got real with me and was like, let's go to the hospital, I'm like, no doubt, let's go right now. We packed like a small bag of like, we packed him like a pair of shorts and a pair of like extra t-shirt and like some underwear. And I told him to pack his toothbrush and stuff, but he forgot to pack toothpaste. He got his toothbrush, didn't pack his toothpaste. So we get down to the hospital, and it's like about between 7 and 7:30. We get a number, like they have a little like take a number system, and we get checked in, and then we realize, okay, it's gonna be a while. They had a lot of people in the waiting room for some reason. So we just sat down, I don't remember how long it took for us to get let back in, but you know, his pain's continuing to get worse. I'm getting a little bit worried. Then we get taken back finally. They take some blood, they draw some blood and take a urine sample. And so at that point we're like, well, if they're gonna do blood tests tonight, we know it's gonna be a while. So we were given a bed, and then we find out like, okay, for whatever reason, which is not common for them, they said, but that night was particularly like busy, and they had people just on beds in the hall, in the emergency room. And so like we were given a bed in the hall. So here, like I feel like I'm in the middle of just everyone. It's a little overwhelming because like every 2 seconds they're rolling something or someone down the hall, and you're just like, oh my Lord, like I can't even pull my chair up to sit beside him. I have to like sit at the foot of his bed, and we're waiting. So I think we waited probably about 2 hours just sitting in the hall before they walk up, or actually they come up and they're like, we're gonna move you, and we're like, great, we'll maybe get a room. No, they just moved us to another part of the hall where it was a little less crowded, a little less foot traffic. And I'm gonna pause, and because it takes me a long time to put my face makeup on, I'm gonna put that on, and I'll pick up with, we've been moved to another part of the hall. So give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, I did my makeup off camera, more my face makeup off camera, just to try to not have this video be too long. So I'm gonna jump into the story and start with, you know, putting on more face products. So anyways, we've been moved to another part of the hall now, and we're waiting a little bit longer. Then all of a sudden they push up this cart, and we have to remind them occasionally, like, please speak English to us because we don't know Swedish yet. And so they just start saying, can you take morphine? Like, they asked my husband, you know, are you allergic to morphine? And we're like, wait. What's going on? Like, does he have appendicitis? Is this, are we going to surgery? Is that why you're doing this? Like, what does this mean? And like, at that point, I start to kind of internally panic. I'm like, holy crap. I start to feel bad. I'm like, he wasn't making it up. He really was feeling, or like, he really is hurting that bad. You know, my guilt's just kind of swarming. Oh man. So they said, yeah, your lab test showed that you do have a bit of infection. We're gonna give you some morphine. They didn't really say why they were giving us morphine. They didn't say, they just said, you know, a doctor will eventually be here. I think we were seeing a PA and a nurse who were mostly attending to us. And they're like, a doctor will eventually be here. We're really overwhelmed, but it'll take a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and give you some morphine now for the pain. And I realize now, in hindsight, that they were doing that because they wanted him to get some sleep, and it was a while before the doctor got there, and it would have been impossible for him to sleep in that hall without it. Like, he wasn't in like the most amount of pain ever, which was why you'll hear the rest of the story. Like, it was very weird. It seemed a lot like appendicitis. But it ends up that it wasn't. So yeah, I'll get to that later. So they give him some morphine, and he actually starts to fall asleep. And at that point, I'm like, oh crap, like, I don't know what this means. You know, he said the doctor will be here eventually. They'll probably take it out, is what he thought, because it's just pretty common practice when you have appendicitis that they take it out because you don't need it anyways. So I asked the PA, I'm like, do I have enough time? When is the doctor coming? Do I have enough time to go home and get some things? And he's like, oh yeah, you have plenty of time to go get stuff. So I hop on my bike, which in Sweden, or at least the city we live in, it's pretty common that people don't have cars. Especially the city we live in. We live in a university city. It's Uppsala, and there's just not a lot of, there's a lot of people biking. There's not a lot of people driving. And, you know, so I'm like, okay, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. No big deal. I biked here. We biked to the hospital together. So I know how to get home. It is 2 o'clock in the morning, but it won't be so bad. I'll run home. It should take me like 10-15 minutes tops to bike home, grab my stuff, and I'll be back in another, you know, it should take me 30-40 minutes tops. Did the math. So I'm telling my half like sedated husband, like, if I'm not back in like 40 minutes, you call me. And he's like, I should have known that he would fall asleep. So yeah, I hop on my bike and biking home, and I'm on this gravel path, and like, I'm like, oh, my bike's like, what is going on? Am I that tired that I'm having trouble like getting my, you know, like, am I that tired that I'm having trouble like biking home? I mean, I know I just came up this big hill, but it shouldn't be that bad. And then finally I hit the pavement, get off the gravel road, hit the pavement, and my bike tire is flat in the front. My front tire, completely flat. I didn't hear it puncture. I didn't hear, like, it's just flat. I'm literally riding on the rim. So I hop off. And again, I remind you, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. No one is around. I realized I didn't even pack. We normally carry like a little patch kit for our bike tires, and I completely forgot mine. I just didn't grab it. And usually Bo has one in his book bag, but I didn't grab it. It's sitting at the hospital with him. So I'm like, great. So I pushed my bike the rest of the way home, which luckily I was more than halfway home, but it's still a good little ways. So I pushed my bike the rest of the way home, lock it up, go upstairs. I'm calling family, which they're 6 hours behind us. So, you know, they're at home. They're worried sick. I'm like super empathetic, and I'm like, I can't imagine how bad they're feeling. Like, they can't, I mean, this is their brother, son, you know, son-in-law. Like, they can't get to him right now. And like, I know that they're panicking, and I know that they're probably doubting whether or not like we can handle this situation. Like, you know, am I gonna remember certain things? Am I gonna ask enough questions? Like, you know, there's that sensation of like nobody can take care of your son or brother like you can. And so I'm like hyper aware of that, and so that's super stressing me out. And so I'm calling them and trying to reassure them, and like I'm telling them how funny it is that my bike tire popped, which honestly, when I hit the pavement and I realized that my bike tire had popped, I just started laughing hysterically. Like, it was probably the fact that I was hysterical, like at 2 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, I just started laughing hysterically. So I thought it was funny. I don't think they thought it was funny. I think they were like, oh my God, this is too much. I can't handle this story anymore. So I called them quickly. I packed some things. Like, I completely forgot when we were on the way to the hospital to pack anything for myself. So I didn't have toothbrush and toothpaste, and I'm a fanatic. I have to be able to brush my teeth. So I like brush my teeth right then and there, and I also pack a bag. I also pack my own like toothpaste and toothbrush, because if I have to be there for surgery, I'm gonna want to brush my teeth again the next day. Anyway, I'm a little bit neurotic about it. So I pack my bag, and then I have to hoof it it's almost 2 miles back to the hospital. So like, here I am, 3 o'clock in the morning at this point, and I'm walking in the middle of the night with a giant book bag full of clothes that I'm like, oh my God, please don't let anybody think this looks like a laptop bag and that, you know, I'm a student, and, you know, they think, I don't know. You know, you just, at that point, my brain was going haywire with what else can we find to worry about? So 2 mile hike back, I get to the hospital. He's sound asleep, which makes me feel so much better that he was able to get any amount of rest. Like, honestly, it was so intense that like I was just relieved to see him being able to sleep. And he was out for a good while. So here we are in the hall. I'm like, I'm freaking tired. I pull up like 2 chairs, and I'm like trying to lay in the hall and sleep. And then finally they come and they move us into, we're still in the ER, but they move us into kind of a private room, which was nice because it was so much more quiet, which, holy cow, I can't tell you how nice that was. But at that point, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, our time. And so yes, it's quiet, but like now there are people coming in every couple of seconds because they needed to grab, like nurses needed to grab certain items out of our room. I guess they have things stored in those rooms. So they would come in to grab certain things for other clients, and which was, you know, that's fine. But there is, again, there's the one bed in there, and there's like a stool, not even a chair, so I can't even sleep. Like it's like a little bar, like a mini bar stool that you would like tie your shoes on or something. So like there's nowhere to sleep in there. So my husband is like, again, he's zonked out, and I literally end up curling up like a dog at his feet, and I like have my head on his like calf, and I got maybe like a couple hours of sleep off and on, like when doctors weren't coming in. And the doctor finally gets to us, and she's like, okay, what's going on? She does the exam again. She's like, okay, you have pain, that's for sure, but I'm having trouble, like it's not presenting like typical, like what I would expect appendicitis to present like. And you know, we're being told by a lot of like family and friends who've had experiences with it, or had friends who've had experience with appendicitis, that like it can present very different. So like don't let them send you home. So we're like, she's like, we have 3 options. You can do we can do surgery, we can send you home and see if it gets better, or we can try, I don't remember what the third option, maybe like antibiotics. So I'm in my head, I'm still thinking, okay, they're going to probably do surgery or antibiotics or something. And she goes and she decides to run more blood tests. I'm like, fine, that's great, I like that. But I'm also afraid of surgery too. And blood tests come back about 2 hours later. So at this point we're at like 7 a.m. and she's like, look, your infection level isn't changing, and it's pretty low. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let you go. If by this point the next day, like sometime in the evening the next day, if you aren't feeling better, you need to come back. If you're feeling slightly better, stay. Let's just see how your body handles it. Maybe it can fight off whatever this infection. Basically, the doctor couldn't be sure about where the infection was originating from, and she didn't want to do unnecessary surgery, take out an appendix, if the infection, let's say, was in his intestines, which is what I personally think it was. So, that is the long story of how we spent our night in the emergency room here in Sweden. And let me tell you, not fun when you don't know anyone. You know, I'm sitting here trying to rack my brain, like, what if he does have surgery? We don't have a car. How's he gonna get home? I gotta come back and get his bike home. Like, oh, like overwhelming for sure. So at the same time, again, I want to thank all of you who are subscribed to my channel, and or even if you're not but you occasionally watch some of my videos and you comment. Like, it means more than you know, because all of that craziness was going on Monday night, and on Tuesday, like, we got home and just crashed all day. We were exhausted. I was still reading comments and commenting back, and it meant so much to me to like not feel alone during all that. So yeah, mostly it was an entertaining story of a crazy night, or at least to me it's entertaining. But I also want to extend a huge thank you to all of you, and just say I'm happy to have y'all around, and I hope that you aren't afraid to comment on videos, and that you enjoy the content. If you ever have a comment or a suggestion or anything, complaint, heck, I don't care, let me know. I'm dying to connect with y'all, and I'm so grateful to have y'all around. So I'm gonna finish up this mascara and then we're done. Okay, so this is back to the makeup. This is the finished look for my get ready with me chatty story time kind of thing. And honestly, I'm just gonna go clean the house, and then my husband and I are gonna make tacos tonight, so we're not going anywhere, so no lashes or anything like that. But yeah, I'll quickly, if you're interested, I'll go over some things that I used, some featured stars of the makeup today. So I used my sugar palette, and I mixed Starburst and Gumdrop. These are beautiful pink highlighters. I always like to top off my highlighter with my Stila Kitten highlighter, because it makes it look more glossy in my opinion, and I need that because I feel like even really good powder highlighters can look powdery on my skin because it's just kind of dry in that area. Butter bronzer. I didn't really put any eyeshadow underneath my eyes today, and I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. But this was what I used. I did do the same thing that I said I was gonna do. Crease, deepen up the crease, lid, and then in the outer V to kind of deepen it up, and inner corner. So outer corner, inner corner, I went in with Love Letter, which was it's just a little deeper and richer, a little more rich than these shades here. So I very much enjoyed that, and I think that's mostly it. I used a CoverGirl Gloss Balm kind of thing, and the number is 5322. I don't even know if you can get them anymore. I don't see another name on here, but yeah, it's just a gloss balm and Ulta gloss from my project pan over the top. I am dying over here in Sweden. Like, for some reason my lips are just giving up on life, and I am struggling with some extremely chapped lips. Like, it's horrible. So yeah. Oh, also I forgot to mention, same project pan items I'm using as a base, my BB cream, and my underneath my foundation, because this is so light, I put my Shape Tape, and then over the top for real concealer kind of stuff, I use this WetNWild one. So that is everything. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, more than anything, comment, say hello in the comments. Yeah, thank you so much.